I've been posting on my Facebook, Twitter, and even YouTube account, but nobody seems to be engaging with my account. Now, these are the reasons why your company account is not doing well.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm a content creator and social media marketer with Loud5 Studios. Now, we help businesses grow with elements such as video and content creation. If these are your types of video, please continue to follow us to learn tips, tricks, and strategies to fuel your brand.
Now, when you find yourself asking yourself why your corporate account seems to be doing badly or isn't doing so well, these are some of the reasons that I've personally found out why corporate accounts don't do as well as personal accounts. Now, the reason is simple. Psychologically, people want to interact with people. They don't want to interact with companies. Now, unless of course you're a big fan for some corporate agency, you realize that generally people would like to interact with people as opposed to companies, simply because companies are always trying to sell you something. But of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Corporate accounts are there for business. They're there to sell stuff. That is what they're there for. And interacting with corporate accounts is a bit impersonal, which is why psychologically, a person who will just go and click on a corporate account to follow it is either a big fan of that corporate organization or, I don't know, I'd like to find out why. Now, psychologically, people are programmed to follow other people because we want to hear their stories, we want to hear what they think, and we want to interact with them. And we can't have that same interaction with a corporate entity because it's not human. Companies tend to be faceless. Now, I know I've walked into a grocery store, for example, and I've bought a bag of chips. And in the back of every bag of chips or a whole lot of other products, you find, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube. I'd like to know that one person who actually says, hey, this is something that I'd like to do, and follow this corporate into whatever it is that they're showing on their Facebook, Twitter, or even YouTube accounts. It's quite unusual. Now that we're getting to understand a bit more about why people don't want to interact with faceless entities, these are the reasons why corporates will then engage people like influencer marketers, brand ambassadors, and that kind of thing, because then we put a face to the company. The reason why Coca-Cola has got so many followers on it is because they'll have adverts that will have your Messis, your musicians, you name it. It's because they're putting a face to it. And that is where we get it wrong. Of course, we might not necessarily have the big budgets to follow that, but bringing it closer to home, actually, when we now talk about what companies do to get people to follow them, you realize that while we have the comic pastors, we have the mighty T's, we have got madam bosses and so forth, it's simply because that's how corporates put faces to accounts. We don't necessarily always have to have comedians per se, and I think that's where a lot of our companies get it wrong sometimes. There's nothing wrong with having comedians, of course, and people like to laugh a lot, but ultimately the issue is you need to have a face to the business. The face doesn't necessarily have to be non-serious. It can be very serious business and still get the point across and get people to engage with it, because people like to engage with people. I'll give you a typical example. Let's take Econet, for example. Econet, if you go into their Facebook accounts right now, they probably have somewhere around the range of 760,000 followers, which is a lot when you think about it. Now, Econet is a very big brand. But on the other hand, let's put a face to it. Go to Strive Masiwa's account. He's got 5.8 million followers. Now, Strive Masiwa can talk business there, incorporate what Econet does and what the whole business as a whole does, and get more followers. That's simply because the business and the face are two different entities, and ultimately people like to engage with people. Now, if you'd like us to get into your business and tell you how we can put a face to your business, feel free to contact us in the comments below. If you've got questions that are not so clear or things that you'd like us to address, feel free to comment below, ask questions in areas that you're not comfortable with, that you're not experiencing the engagement that you're looking for when it comes to your social media accounts, and we will gladly assist you. So until next time, Mike, signing out.